Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I am back with my Kill a Kit video for how to kill a kit with style for the month of June 2021. And it was a heck of a month. I'm so glad this was my first month back for how to kill a kit with style because I absolutely hit it out of the park, if I do say so myself. For an overview, we have 20 Traveler's Notebook spreads done, which concludes my Montana album. So I'm excited to share with you guys the new layouts in there. We had a ton of empties and I used all of the tools I put in my set, which included 2 stamp sets. So let's just dive right in. First, I'm going to share stuff that wasn't in the original kit. I added a couple extra things to get me through the kit that were late additions. The first item was this Scrap and Happy Studio flare set, so I actually completed the other one, as you'll find out later. So I added the additional one that I had that was in a similar style. So I still have some of those left over. I also added this Heidi Swap sticker book that's a travel themed. I finished off this page except for one. Similarly, I also used a couple of the alphabets here and there, so there's a couple sets of alphas in here. I used a bunch of these label banners, which I know it's hard to tell which ones are actually there and which ones aren't, but I used some of those, and then some of these phrase stickers as well as the frame, and then a little bit of this tiny alphabet set as well. So added those 2 things in. But other than that, we'll start with some of the random pieces. So these are some extra pieces from the sets. From the original Goldenrod 1 Canoe 2 collection, I have 2 paper die cuts, a trowel and a bicycle. Not too bad. I had these 2 offcuts, which are just from Heidi Swap, but they kind of went with this collection, so I kind of left them in there. And then these 2 chipboard fell out of the chipboard set. I didn't use any of the chipboard that I put in here, but it does match the collection I used from Simple Stories, so just those items left. Then for the other Simple Stories die cuts, I have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. The truck, a camp sign, a fire, a s'mores, and a here button. So these will go great. I actually remembered that I own the 12 by 12 sticker sheet of this as well. So I do have a bit more to go with this. There's no reason to get rid of it. I think they're all very cute still. I just didn't get a chance to utilize them. And then, like I mentioned, the Cabin Fever chipboard set was neglected because chipboard in a Traveler's Notebook doesn't really work, but there aren't too many left in here, so we'll keep that for a bit longer in the stash. Like I had mentioned earlier, I did have 2 stamp sets in my kit, both from Close to My Heart. I had this little leaf one, and then this fun Feel So Blessed, which is a stamp of the month. I did finally use this one, which was brand new. I hadn't touched it. And then this one I'd used before, but I did get to use again. So that's great. I love using up some of my stamps. Even just once, even just a little bit, it all counts. And don't forget to check out everyone else that'll be linked down below in the description to see their Kill a Kit videos and what they've made this month. And I'll also have my Patreon link down below, which has a ton of behind the scenes and extra process videos, which I'll mention as we go through the actual projects. But to finish going through the supplies rather quickly, finally used this sticker sheet for the first time from Ellie Studio. So I'm excited I put a dent in that. I got really close to finishing these old Jelly Bean Soup hexagon stickers. I tried my hardest to finish these, but these will go in my almost empty pile to be used up rather quickly. These beautiful Freckled Fawn washi sheets, I only have these 2 left, which are definitely the hardest ones for me to use. So I have the banner arrows and then a diagonal stripe in like almost rainbow color, but it's really just some fun brights. So I'm not sure when I'll use these, but at least I made a huge dent in those. Back to some more alphas. I did use the thickers a handful of times, but not too many because it's a Traveler's Notebook. And then similarly, the 3 shades of the Pink Fresh Studio Boys Fort collection were all used. I believe I used the tan ones the most, and then maybe the blue ones second and the green ones third, but I love this sized font, and I'm so happy I got to put more of a dent in them. Then we have the 2 6x6 that were part of my kit. These 2 are kind of older collections, but we have the Pink Paisley Outfitters collection, which super camping themed, used a bit of this. And similarly, I have the Goldenrod 1 Canoe 2 collection, which I did put a dent in. So let's see, the Pink Paisley one's from 2016 and the 1 Canoe 2 one is from 2018. So older, but not too vintage. So I'll keep both of these to continue using them because I adore them. Not too big of a dent in them, but we made progress. So that's all that matters. Then diving into the empties, I finished off this section of Wild Whisper Wood Veneer, which were the airplanes. I finished off this set of Freckled Fawn Enamel Hearts, and this Scrap and Happy Studio Flare. And this was a Fancy Pants Puffy Dot collection, used a ton of those. This Freckled Fawn label set is now empty. These mini sets of Goldenrod stickers are empty, so both of these sheets. this high five from We Are Memory Keepers puffy stickers, empty. And then lastly, the big hurrah, which I'm still surprised happened, was the Goldenrod 6x12 sticker sheet. I don't know if I really ever finished a double-sided 6x12 sticker sheet, but I'm really happy I did. Let me know if I've missed any, because that would be terribly awkward. And then lastly, I did have a 12x12 paper pad in this kit, and this is the Peaceful Breeze paper pad, which I referred to under so many different names in all my process videos. So if you guys are looking for the actual title, it's called Peaceful Breeze, and it is from Recollections, not from any of the other places I might have mentioned. But I did put a dent in some of the scraps of this. There's still tons of paper left. I adore this paper pad, so it's not going anywhere. One of my favorite ones I got to use, as well as this one, another one of my favorite ones. But as a floral lover, I love florals and using them on nature pages. So we had a ton of empties, we had a ton of fun, and hopefully you guys did too through all the process videos. But we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we had 6. That's all technically 1, 7, and then lastly the 8 for the Wild Whisper. So we had 8 empties, plus the big dent we made in the actual stash. And then of course we still have made 20 Traveler's Notebook layouts. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I really didn't even have half of this Traveler's Notebook done, and now I have the whole thing done. It doesn't have journaling or anything, no final touches, and there is one blank page in the back. It's where I'll put probably the whole story, but it is just a craft Traveler's Notebook. And I got a lot of questions about where this was from, so to prove where it's from, it's actually printed on the last page. It's an Explorer journal from Momenta. I picked this up at Tuesday morning, and it came with the case as well. So I've had this for a while, and it's definitely busting a little bit at the seams, but nothing I can't handle. And it's just a plain craft color, and the paper is not the greatest, not for watercoloring, barely for stamping, etc. But I had fun with it. So let's flip through the 20 pages. I'm going to go rather quickly. A lot of the ones in the beginning have process videos, and then several ones throughout the end also have process videos, but a majority of the end process videos are exclusive to Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing behind the scenes of me making, planning, and working on this, as well as additional process videos, you can check out my Patreon, which will be linked down below. I also have tons of blog posts for a lot of these projects, so if you guys are interested in seeing a full flip through or anything else for details of this project, all of that will eventually be hosted over on my blog, so definitely check out grayflorals.com if you're looking for some beautiful photos of all these pages. This might be one of my favorite pages I've ever made, and it was the first layout back since I moved, since I took a long break from scrapbooking, as many of you guys remember. So it's one of my favorites. I had a ton of fun doing it. But like I said, I will be going through this rather quickly, and as you guys know, and if you've been up with my channel, you'll know I do different orientation of layouts in my Traveler's Notebooks, so we'll be going back and forth quite a bit. And as I go through, make sure to let me know which one you guys like the most. I adore so many of these pages, more than I could even express, because this trip was just so magical for me, and it was one of my first alone trips, and definitely my first time going hiking alone. So again, it was a pretty big deal. And here's one of those instances of just using some thickers, but overall, I still can't believe I, 1, made this album, 2, ever went to Montana. It seems like it was such a long time ago. I just can't believe it still, but I adore so many of these pages. I've used a ton of product in this Traveler's Notebook, hence why it is so large. Some of the pages are more plain, some of them are a bit more crazy and maximalist, which is totally my normal style. And some of them are just breathtaking to me because I remember the exact moment this picture was taken. There's just so much I love about this project, and I hope to cherish it for years to come. I hope I put enough adhesive on everything for it to stay together for as long as I can live, but I just can't wait to see what you guys think of it in the comments down below. I know several of you guys haven't experimented with Traveler's Notebooks yet, but there is something so fun about this size for me, because you just put a picture, a couple of embellishments, and you have like this fun free page, because I only had so many photos printed. And in case you guys are wondering, this is my least favorite layout, and I don't want to talk about it, but it has a nice journaling spot, and that's pretty good. Here's another one using one of my favorite papers from that paper pad. I just can't get over it. I just remember this trip so vividly that I can't wait to go back, that's for sure. And again, there's some minimalistic style layouts like this one. And I got minimalist towards the end. Now I wish this was one of the ones I wish had a process video, but I ended up not filming that one. And I know you guys were probably wondering how I'd use those RVs. Well, I shoved one under here, and I was like, well, I have a little bit of an RV theme going, so I'll just put one little puffy sticker RV up here, which I've had for a long time to use in my Use It Up drawer. So I'm happy about that. And then this was using up a bunch of scraps on the side and putting in some of the banner stickers, as well as making this title piece. Sometimes it's the simplest stuff that really makes me like, the picture pops and everything, but also I just love the look of a traveler's notebook. I like how hands-on it is. There's no page protectors, which can be a pro and a con for some people because there's no protection for the photos, but then you can actually feel the memories and how they were captured. But I just can't believe this is my project and it's finished. And I don't know if you guys get that feeling when a project's done. And I did leave a lot of room for journaling at the end because these pages are rather flat compared to the middle section. So it's easier to journal on these or to apply journaling to these. This is probably my heaviest page because there's probably like 50 die cuts and stickers on this one side. But I needed to use all of the fruit elements and popsicle elements on one page. So the one photo I had of me in Hawaiian ice really went well with all these embellishments I really wanted to use up. And then the very last page, which does not have a process video, but I did just make today, cutting it close. I am filming this on the 29th, and of course the kit ends on the 30th. So we have made it officially done with this traveler's notebook. Again, there is blank page at the end, and then of course the back page. So it really worked out spacing wise. I do believe I planned that at the beginning because there aren't too many with doubles at the beginning. But if you want to see more about these, I do have some process videos. I also have some exclusives over on Patreon. So if you guys are interested in learning more, if you want a full flip through me talking about Montana album, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And if you'd love to see more of Montana like I did through this flip through, you can check out my Montana vlogs that'll be linked down below because all of these moments are basically on there. And it's just even more breathtaking in video because like this moment here, I took a time lapse upon this mountaintop. It was just absolutely amazing. And now I have this cute little home it'll live in. I don't feel comfortable putting the band in between because it's the only notebook in here. But for now, my Montana memories are laid. And now I can start figuring out the story I want to write for each of these pages. And now I can recycle all of these materials that are now empty and put away the rest of this kit so we can start in on July. But I hope you guys enjoyed Montana and the Traveler's Notebook. I think this might be my first finished Traveler's Notebook. And to that I say I will be doing more in the near future, I would imagine. It is just such a fun size and so much more challenging than a 12 by 12. So we'll see what July brings, but let me know which layout was your favorite in the comments down below. I can't believe I got this many empties and finished those off, so I'm super excited with the dent I've made in my stash and the huge dent I made in this project. You know, 20 layouts, despite them being smaller, is still a lot because it is technically different stories and elements. So I'm really proud of myself for making that work this month, and July will be another great adventure. But don't forget to check out all the other participants, which will be linked down below in case you guys haven't checked them all out yet for their Kit videos and what they've made this past month. But I hope you guys enjoyed my share, and I'll have all those other fun links down below for you guys to check out. But thank you guys so much for watching and for tuning in this month, my return month, and I hope you guys were not disappointed. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.